What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys today again. And today I'm going to do another video. And today I'm going to be continuing with my series about grading the Detroit Lions roster by depth and position. And today I'm going to be hitting on the defensive tackles. It's going to be a little bit better. Lions fans won't be as mad as me for this one today. So I'm just going to kind of focus on the defensive tackles. This is one of the stronger units on the line, the defensive tackles and defensive ends. A very versatile group, so you're going to see some names being repeated in defensive tackle unit and defensive end when I eventually get to those guys. But like I said, another versatile group is going to be guys like Jashon Cornell, Kevin Strong, Brian Price, Nick Williams, Deshaun Hand, John Penicini, Michael Brockers, who just came over from the LA Rams, Levi Onwuzurike, rookie, and Alim McNeill, another rookie that we picked high. Two high draft picks right there. But we're going to start with probably go from worst to first, like I've been kind of doing with all my guys. So we're going to start off with Jashon Cornell. 6'3", 285 pounds, out of Ohio State University. He's a Buckeye. We drafted him last year in the 7th round. He ended up tearing his ACL, his Achilles, whatever he did. Got hurt, season ending. 7th round pick, 24 years old. This year he hasn't started off with the good foot either, too. He's getting suspended for the first, I think, 3 games, substance abuse. So this kid is literally on the outside looking in. 62 tackles, 14.5 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 forced fumbles at Ohio State. 5 years he was there. Kind of played inside, outside, has a little giddy up to him, more of a run stuffer, but he's literally on the outside looking in. Going to be tough for this kid to make the team now, especially with this substance abuse thing. He got tested positive for some drug. I don't even know what it was. He admitted the mistake. I guess he lost a friend. One of his buddies passed away, and he got silly. He must have been partying with some buddies. And who knows what he put into his system. There's probably some of that. Who knows? Can't really say. But he does have some ability, though. He's played inside and out on the D-line, like I said. Mainly a run stuffer, but has some sacks and disruption to his game at the college level. Just he's never played in the pros. We haven't seen this guy. He's going to be available for preseason. He's going to be available at training camp. So we're just not going to see him in the first 3 regular season games. He's going to need the ball out, and he's going to need to play really, really well. He's just going to need to stand out. So this is a guy that's literally on the bubble. Then the next guy, we've got Kevin Strong, 24 years old, 6'4", 285 pounds, UTSA road runner in college. Undrafted free agent in 2019, put up 106 tackles, 26.5 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 3 pass deflects, 1 fumble recovery, 2 forced fumbles, 4 years in college. Came over undrafted, like I said, 2019. He's has 20 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hits, a sack, and a pass deflect. He's only started 1 game in 2 years as a Lion. Another kid that needs the ball out in camp and preseason. He's a little bit versatile. He can play inside and out too. Could be solid depth. I think the 1 game I remember him starting, don't quote me on it, I think it might have been the Green Bay game. I could be wrong, and he played okay. He's depth. He's going to be another guy it's going to be tough for him to crack the lineup. But you're going to need defensive tackles because the big boys get tired early, and they get tired often. So you're going to need quite a bit of depth on this D line. Kevin Strong might be a candidate to be some solid depth. On to the next guy, Brian Price is the guy that we ended up picking up during off-season. 6'3", 322 pounds, a big kid, 27 years old, another UTSA road runner. Went to the same school as Kevin Strong. Undrafted free agent 2016. I couldn't really find any college stats on this guy. Green Bay ended up grabbing him 2016 as an undrafted free agent. He's played for the Packers, the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Browns, the Colts, the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars is where we got the familiarity with them. Todd Wash, who is our defensive line coach, I think coached this kid up in Jacksonville. He didn't really get any stats, but this is where I think the familiarity comes from. Todd Wash knows him from there, and then now he's a Detroit Lion. He's been on 7 teams in 6 years. He's a run stuffer. He's a space eater. That's all he really is. There's not really much to this kid's game. 20 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a quarterback hit, and a pass deflect in like 5 years, going on number 6 in the pros. So he's a camp body. He's gonna be a guy that can maybe win a job on the practice squad. Don't know, but I can see this kid getting cut. I don't have too much faith in this guy right here, but he has held on to some positions on a roster. So you never know. You just never know. But he's been in the league for since 2016 and hasn't done much. But you never know on scheme and fit and what this Detroit Lions team is looking for. But he's a camp body. Let's just be real about it. Now we'll go to the next guy. So it's getting a little bit better down the road. Jashon Hand, 6'3", 297, 300 pounds, an Alabama Crimson Tide, 25 years old. Drafted 2018 in the 4th round by the Detroit Lions. College, 71 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, pass deflect, 1 forced fumble in 4 years at Alabama. Came into the pros, 52 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits, pass deflect, 3 fumble recoveries, one fumble recovery, 3 forced fumbles, and 3 sacks, 3 years as a Detroit Lion. He's only started 11 games in 3 years. He's missed about 22 games in 3 years. He's injury prone. Burst on the scene as a 4th round rookie in Detroit though. He was an actual playmaker. He was producing sacks, forcing fumbles, getting into the backfield, causing some chaos. Looked good as a rookie. He was promising. It was like, oh man, we found a late round gem, 4th round guy that can finally produce. And then after that, he just kept getting hurt. Hasn't been able to stay on the field, and that's a no-no. So he needs to stay healthy, or he's done, in my opinion, too. Another guy that's fighting for his life to stay on this roster. So he could be another camp cut. Who knows? A preseason cut. We'll see what happens, but. The talent is there with Jashon Hand. It always has been there. It's just that he hasn't been able to grasp it. He has the talent, but he can't stay healthy. You know what I mean? And that's a big no-no in the NFL. He can't stay healthy. You're going to get tossed to the side. So this is a guy that's going to be fighting for his life, and he's literally playing on a 1-year deal. So this is what he's doing. He's going to need the ball out, and he's going to need to be part of that rotation if he wants to be. It's up to him. Now another guy, Nick Williams, seasoned vet, 6'4", 310 pounds, out of Samford Bulldog, 31 years old, a 7th round pick out of 2013 by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's played for the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Bears, been on the Lions now for a couple years. This is where he showed his ability to really play. He got a chance to start in Chicago, and 9 years in the league. He had a really good final year in Chicago, and Bob Quinn went and gave him some money and came to Detroit and just hasn't really done much. 83 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 15 quarterback hits, 7 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 forced fumbles. Most of those stats come in like 2019. Most of those stats did. 8 years in the league, going on 9. Played on multiple teams in his career. He didn't become a starter until 2019 and had a career year, like I said, in Chicago. Then he could be a scheme fit player. He just was not good last year in this scheme that Patricia was running. The year before, he had like 6.5 sacks, bunch of tackles as a DT. Was really disruptive. Played really well. 2020 came to Detroit. He was a ghost. He was an absolute ghost. 1 sack, like 20-something tackles. Just didn't play well. And I think that it's like that for a lot of players that came to this new regime the old regime with Patricia and that old defense. Maybe he could be a guy that comes in. He's 31 years old, so time is not on his side. 31 isn't old in real life, but in football years, that's ancient, especially for a defensive tackle at his age and who hasn't really done much in his career. But he could be a scheme fit player. They're running this 3-4. It's going to be tough for this guy to crack the roster, I think. But he has a leg up. He's been around for a while. He knows the ins and outs of being a defensive tackle in the NFL. So maybe he has that. Maybe he has a trick up his sleeve. I don't know. I'm not relying too much on him. But he does have some ability, as along with Jashon Hand. Now these next 4 guys are probably that I'm going to focus on are going to be the guys that I think are going to be more the mainstay. You're going to see these guys on the field quite a bit. And then this number 4 guy is John Penicini, 6'1", 320 pounds, a Utah Ute. College, 80 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 pass deflects, 1 fumble recovery, 2 forced fumbles in 3 years at Utah. Drafted in the 6th round, 2020 by Bob Quinn. I thought this was a steal, 24 years old. Played really well for Detroit. 35 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery, 1 sack as a Lion, as a rookie. He actually started as a 6th round guy, started 12 games as a rookie. It's impressive. He's more of a true nose tackle than anything else in this 3-4 scheme. You're going to be seeing a lot of him playing, switching up, I think, with Alim McNeill, who I'll be talking about in a little bit. A high motor guy, high character, was talked about by his coaches and his former players when this kid was drafted. It was nothing but high praise. You go watch the tape on this kid. He's got a really good motor for a 6'1", 320-pound man. He doesn't move like a 6'1", 320-pound guy. He's got some. He's nimble. He's pretty nimble for a guy 320. You don't see that much. Made some plays last year. Got in the backfield a few times. Just made a few nice plays. Stuck out. He really stuck out. More of a run stuffer, a space eater. He's going to eat up a lot of blocks. So that's what you like to see. And I think he's going to be a heavy rotation with him and Alim McNeill. Right in that middle, you're going to see him lined up right along the center. You're going to maybe see him lined up on the center guard in between those 2 guys too as well. Just going to be a guy that I like a lot. I do like Penicini, especially in his 2nd year. Then I'm going to focus on the rookie, number 3 guy, Alim McNeill, 6'2", 320, North Carolina State Wolfpack, 21 years old. We drafted this kid in the 3rd round. We went back-to-back defensive tackles in this year's draft, so he's a rookie. 77 tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 1 pick and a touchdown to add to that, 5 pass deflects, 1 fumble recovery, 2 forced fumbles, 3 years as a Wolfpack. And it's a guy that he's one of my favorite draft picks of this draft besides Penicini. I actually like Alim McNeill a little bit better than Levi Onwuzurike. I think he's super athletic. He's another nose tackle on this roster though, but he's super athletic for a 320-pound man. Like I've said, he's not just a run stuffer. He's got 10 quarterback sacks to his name, 3 years at North Carolina State. So he's not just one-dimensional. He can do lots of good things. Get to the quarterback, insanely strong. He's built just like a defensive tackle. He's everything you want in a defensive tackle, and I'm kind of surprised that this kid dropped. And this was the kid that Brad Holmes really, really targeted in that draft. If you watch that 37-minute video about I think it was called Inside the Den, where they were Sheila Ford was inquiring about when are we going to draft a wide receiver, and they were like talking about this guy right here, Alim McNeill, saying this guy is like one of the truest nose tackles in this draft. We have to go get him. They didn't really say his name, I don't think, in that video, but this is who they were talking about, and they went and got him in the 3rd round. Because it was the 3rd round that Sheila was inquiring about when are we going to get a wide receiver. This team is in dire straits for a wide receiver. They went out and got Alim McNeill instead. They went and drafted this kid instead. I think this kid's going to be a mainstay. He reminds me a lot of Vince Wilfork from the New England Patriots back in the day. If you don't remember Vince, look some of his tape. He's more of an athletic Vince Wilfork, and I think that this is one of my favorite draft picks in this draft by the Detroit Lions. Keep your eye on this kid. Now the next guy, number 2 guy that I think is going to be one of the best defensive tackles on the team, Levi Onwuzurike, another rookie, Washington Husky, 6'3", 290 pounds, a little undersized for a defensive tackle, 23 years old, drafted in the 2nd round in the 2021 draft, another rookie. 95 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. Another versatile D lineman, I think, too, as well. Can play inside and out. He opted out last year because of COVID. I think he was probably one of the best defensive tackles in this draft that just passed. And he's got a lot of versatility to him. we're going to play mainly, I think, a 3-4, and you're going to see this kid playing a lot of 3-4 DN. Now, a 3-4 DN is usually a bigger DN. It's not usually, it's not your guy, like, it's not a guy that's going to be about 6'2", 260, 270 pounds. Your 3-4 DNs are usually bigger, because you want them to be able to play the run as well too. And there's only 3 D linemen there, right? So you want your D lineman in a 3-4, especially at DN, to be a little bit bigger, but you need him to be athletic and you need him to be nimble. You need him to do lots of things: shoot gaps, get to the quarterback, play the run, do everything, get the hands up. Now he didn't have a lot of crazy stats, Levi. That's why I don't like him as much as Alim McNeill. And then when I compared the tape that I watched on these guys before, Alim just stuck out more to me. He just stuck out a little bit more to me. Not that Levi is a bad football player, because I think he's going to be a really good football player for us. But I think he's a little more of, I don't want to use the word project, but he's going to, I think, take a little bit more time to develop. Just a little bit more time, and I think he's going to get better as we go. But he's going to get a ton of playing time. This kid's going to get a ton of playing time in this 3-4 scheme. We are switching over guys like defensive end Romeo Wakwara and Trey Flowers, who I will be talking about as my defensive ends as well too. I think they'll be playing there. But those guys are getting moved to outside linebacker, and I think guys like Levi is one of the reasons why that move happened too as well. Not that this guy's better defensive end than Romeo or Trey Flowers. It's just that this is the scheme that they're running. It's all about scheme, and they're trying to fit these guys into this scheme. And I like Levi. I like him to make some plays this year, but I think he's gonna show a lot of rookie mistakes as a second round guy. But he was one of the best defensive tackles in this draft. So it was a solid get by Brad Holmes and company. I think even Brad Holmes, I think he wanted to even move up to get him, and he was talked down by his coaching staff and his scouts in the war room at the time, and I thought that was really impressive. They waited, they got him. I think that was a really good get by the Detroit Lions. Now, last guy I'm talking about, Michael Brockers. Now, he's the old man in the room, 6'5", 305 pounds, out of LSU Tiger, a former first-round pick from the St. Louis Rams, now the LA Rams. First round, 14th overall in 2012. 79 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, 4 pass deflects, 2 forced fumbles, 2 years at LSU. Came into the league 2012. Now he's played a long time. 395 tackles, 448 tackles for loss, 62 quarterback hits, 28 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 2 forced fumbles, and 9 pass deflects. He's 30, so he's one of the oldest guys in the room. Him and Nick Williams, I think, the 2 oldest guys, 31 and 30. Nick being just a tight, tad bit older. But this guy, Michael Brockers, I like him a lot. I think he's going to be one of the better defensive tackles on the team because I got him as pretty much the number 1 DT. But fans need to temper their expectations on this guy. This guy was in LA, and who was he playing next to? He was playing next to the best football player on the planet, in Aaron Donald, who's the best defender in the NFL the past, since he's pretty much been in the league. However long's Aaron Donald been in the league? 5, 6, 7 years, whatever he's been in the league, Aaron Donald's been the man. And Michael Brockers has been playing next to that guy for that long. People think that Michael Brockers is going to come here because the Rams had the best defense in the planet last year. And they've had good defense ever since Aaron Donald's been there. Great defense. That's not going to be the case. Michael Brockers is coming here. He's going to be good for the Lions. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but he is going to be good, but he's not coming here, and he's not going to be the next Reggie White. He's not going to be Aaron Donald. He's not going to be anything like that. He's coming to a worse football team overall. People need to not look at Michael Brockers and go, well, that guy's going to get 10 sacks, 80 tackles as a defensive tackle, and be defensive player of the year. That's not going to be the case. I think he's going to be a solid vet presence in that room. He's got the hardware. He's been around. He's been to multiple playoff games. Been to a Super Bowl. Don't think he ever won a Super Bowl. No, he went a couple years ago. He's always been with the Rams. So he's been to a Super Bowl, didn't win it, but he's got the hardware. You know, he's got the championship. He's got the playoff wins under his belt. He's got some of that. You know what I mean? He's a good defensive tackle, though. Nothing against him, but he's not coming here to save the day. And Lions fans really have to know that, man. He's not coming here to save the day. He does not have Aaron Donald next to him anymore. He's going to have guys like Trey Flowers next to him, Alim McNeill, John Penicini. Those guys are not even close to an Aaron Donald. Not even close, and probably never will be. You know what I mean? Can't really say about the rookies. Don't really know yet. But Aaron Donald is a man amongst boys, even at the NFL level. It's amazing how he plays, and he doesn't have that anymore to bail him out. Doesn't have that. Can't look over his shoulder, or look to his right or his left, and go, "Well, Aaron Donald's going to save the day." It's not like that in Detroit. So he's a big boy. You know, he's more of a run stuffer. He can get to the quarterback a little bit, but he's not going to wow you with his stats or his numbers or his production or his athletic ability. He's getting up there in age. So, but he's going to come in and be a vet presence. He's probably going to end up being the captain of the defense, or one of the captains, with him, Jamie Collins, and whoever steps up. So, I can see him being the captain of that D-line room. Anyways, but that's it, guys. If I'm going to give this unit a grade, I'm going to give it. I almost gave it a C+, but I'm going to give it a B-. I'm going to give it a B- because I don't really like to do this, but I'm kind of looking towards the future too a little bit. I should be looking more into the now, but I'm just kind of looking at the two rookies we have, and I really like the two rookies that we brought in. The Brockers acquisition was nice, but everyone has to temper their expectations. But I still liked it. I like Penicini in his second year, and it kind of worries me after that. Deshaun Hand is a huge question mark because of injuries and production. Nick Williams is a big question mark because of his age and production. Then after that, Kevin Strong, Brian Price, Jashon Cornell. I don't know what's going on there, but those last four guys bumped this grade up to about a B-. I had him at about a C+, but I'm going to give it a B-. So, hey, Lions fans, you can have a little bit of sigh of relief. Okay, I'm not that bad of a guy. I do have some optimism. Just because I'm skeptical doesn't mean I'm not optimistic at all. I do have a little bit of optimism about this defensive line. So that's it, guys. That's a B- from me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And don't forget to like and comment. Get all the likes up. Get the comments up. Go Lions. We're almost at training camp. Boom. Let's go.